My research, what I try to look at is whether Jews in Israel specifically, because that's where I did the research, who either left religion or considered leaving religion, what role this actually played. Not so much the notion of Sinai in itself, of Matan Torah at Sinai, more the question of how scientific research that doubts this, or I would doubt is even not a strong enough word maybe, considers it unlikely to have occurred the way tradition describes it, how, if at all, that affects their decision to stay religious or not to stay religious. What happened was that in the end, I ended up interviewing people mainly who are kind of what I think of as a new group that is existing in Israeli society, maybe also elsewhere, a kind of in-between group between religious and secular, people who were religious and stopped being religious but don't call themselves simply Chiloni, that's a secular social group in Israel, rather prefer the term Datlash, Dati L'Shavar, signifying that they do have connections, or people who remain religious, maybe people who studied indeed with Rav Shagar or other places, but have a more open-minded way of seeing, and I feel that unlike maybe previous generations, like Rabbi Jacobs and others who felt that they really have to work out this what seems to be differing rationales of living between the Torah and science. For them, this isn't the issue. The issue is other things. The issue, as I mentioned, is compared to other religions, but also other things. Issues like egalitarianism, issues of how this is meaningful for me, how this works in my life, etc. I think it's more of a grassroots movement in which people are young men and women who are more influenced by than the older generation, who are more influenced by the spirit of the times, even though this has been the spirit of the times for a while, but into Judaism sometimes these things take a while to flow. And the truth is, even in the wider society, this isn't necessarily rampant. It's not like, wider society has chucked science and okay, we don't care anymore about that. It's more complicated than that. But this is, to some extent, this is a stream that exists in society, and for some people, one interview of mine, for example, described how in high school he was troubled by such problems, and later it became more of a non-issue for him, and he was looking more for how his religion he could incorporate, say, teachings of Gentiles as well as Jewish thinkers who are seeing how religion can be associated with giving and with social involvement. So for him, at least, that was less of an issue. Some order. There is, and this has been identified by others, a new in-between space, whether it's, say, the singer Ehud Banai, who returns to religion, but unlike Uri Zohar, who made the same move a few decades ago, stays in some middle place, where he continues to perform for secular people, where he continues to be involved in different aspects of current Israeli culture, and not, say, only Haredi culture. On the one hand, or you have people on the other hand who are coming from religious life and becoming only Datiim L'Shavar and not Chiloni, and these exist for sure. Now, what I'm doing is I'm coming and asking about how this people who more or less identify this way feel about this issue of Matan Torah, and I learned that they don't, from the little those people I interviewed, that they're not that concerned with the questions of historicity.